Welcome back, everyone, to the International Training Institute of Health Masterclass. And what we're going to be talking about today is TMJ conditions, otherwise temporal mandibular joint problems. Now, understand something, okay? The TMJ, we know that as the anger joint. This is where people hold, in emotions, they hold their anger. And when we work on people and we release the scar tissue, the crystallization and the calcification that's in this joint, a lot of anger comes up. People even, they go back in time and go, I can remember when I had a situation, I had a flashback. But this is the joint that you go like this and you get, oh, you make me so mad. You know, you're always really.
Everything that's said, everything that's been said to you.
Or not said, okay, and it's done in anger. That intention and that tension is held in the TMJ joint. And understand something, the TMJ joint can cause your vagus nerve to freeze up. It can give you sore throats. It can give you even neck problems. It can even give you hearing problems, okay? So you can get actually tinnitus in your ears, ringing in your ears from even the TMJ because inflammation spreads. So when we actually have people coming to us, and we'll be talking about this in a bit, but they come to us and they're gradually losing their hearing. We work on this area before we work around the ear and in the ear, and we bring the hearing back. But we have to get all around and get rid of that scar tissue that's really doing it. But also, people with TMJ problems, they'll actually go and they'll get mouth guards because their jaw doesn't line up properly, okay, from the bottom to the top. Okay, so we are working on someone, and she's had a mouth guard forever, and she's very quiet, and you can tell she just suppresses everything. And she said, I'm going to buy another mouth guard. It's going to cost me $10,000. And she was coming to see us with her sister. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. And she went and bought it anyway. So are you ready for this? It now sits on her mantle as a memory. All right? She paid 10 grand for it. She came with her sister, and I worked on it for maybe 10 minutes. And that pain that she had for like years, 20 years, she said, was gone. I worked on her 10 minutes on the one side and about 20 minutes on the other side. And that's been 2 years. And it still sits on her mantle. So there's her trophy. Okay, so we need to understand that when your TMJ locks up, it knots up. And you get a knot in here, it throws it off. Okay, and that knot is trapped emotions, calcium crystallization, and scar tissue formation. And when that knot gets intense or it swells, it puts pressure on the nerve. It will cause facial pain, and it will cause pain anywhere around this area. It depends on the nerve it hits. Okay?
All right, so let's get to some conditions of the TMJ. I'm going to start with TMJ Syndrome. And TMJ Syndrome can occur when the disc erodes or moves out of its proper alignment. The joint's cartilage is damaged by arthritis.
Okay, first of all, it's not damaged that it can't heal itself. And remember, we're back to the arthritis thing, which is what? Inflammation in the joint.
Yeah.
Okay, big deal.
Yeah, so you're going to see the same thing we saw with everything else with the TMJ. You're going to see arthritis to osteoarthritis to rheumatoid arthritis.
And yeah, it graduates like that. Okay, so it's called mistreatment. Okay, all right.
The joint is damaged by a blow or other impact, misalignment of or trauma to the teeth or jaw.
That could happen.
From teeth grinding, and that can be because of anxiety.
And worms.
Yeah. Poor posture, stress or anxiety, arthritis or other inflammatory musculoskeletal disorders, orthodontic braces, and excessive gum chewing can all cause TMJ syndrome. And some symptoms, if you're not sure what TMJ syndrome would really even be or feel like, some symptoms you would experience would be painful jaw, tender jaw, difficulty chewing, aching facial pain, clenching of your jaw, grinding teeth, jaw
even
clicking
headaches.
and popping in the ear, temple pain, headaches, migraines.
Yeah, ringing in the ear. I know they don't put it here, but
because these are medical symptoms.
Yeah,
not all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not all the things we would touch on. And treatments that they would give you are some anti-inflammatory medications.
Like everything else we've talked about. Okay.
Dental surgery, steroid injections, antidepressants, sleep medication, and pain medication?
So I think the first thing would be is to get rid of the constriction in here, to get rid of the scar tissue in here. I mean, that's the less painful than all the rest, less costly. And if that doesn't work, then we've got this, right?
And we truly do see such amazing results just with one treatment with the TMJ.
Yep. And that's it. That's all we really need to say about that. And then it's up to you to make that step to book the treatment if you want to do that, or go this route.
Yeah. So let's touch on some other TMJ symptoms or conditions. So lockjaw, which is actually because of tetanus. So tetanus is a serious disease caused by a bacterial toxin that affects your nervous system, leading to painful muscle contractions, particularly of your jaw and neck muscles. Tetanus can interfere with your ability to breathe and can threaten your life. Tetanus is commonly known as lockjaw.
So see, we won't talk about tetanus, but did you see how I said that even just TMJ can involve your face, your neck, right down into your lungs, right? So understand that this is a very important area, and we'll teach you how to do padding and clapping and how to even work on it with yourself. You know, we can teach you how to work on your whole body if you want to take a personal treatment and training, or if you want to come and take our certifications, right?
So some other ways that you can have a TMJ conditions is just through an injury as well. So so Sage, you had a jaw injury.
You want to tell everyone about it?
Yeah. Well, in this one, yeah.
Yeah, in this one, in this show.
Okay. Well, last winter I broke my jaw. I had to go train a course in Australia the next morning, so I was flying out, and I was like, "Oh, this really sucks." And then I went to the hospital, and they were like, "You might need to get it wired." And I was like, "Well, I can't get it wired. I have to fly out to Australia tomorrow morning." And they're like, "Okay, well, just take some pain meds." They gave me some prescription for some pain meds. Go get the meds, go to Australia, and just kind of like tough it out. And I was like, "Okay." And then I got home, and Daryl was like, "Get on the Dentagen. Like, you broke your jaw."
Well, you didn't go to Australia. You came home from the hospital.
Well, I came home from the hospital. I was getting ready to fly to Australia the next morning, and Daryl's like, "Get on the Dentagen, bring some with you and take it like 3-4 times a day." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, for sure." And then like, I believe in everything we do, but it's so much more when it's firsthand for yourself and so rapid. Like, I love what we do, and like, I totally, why would I work here? Because I believe in it.
Especially with that, because it was the craziest transformation within like 5 days.
Yeah. And so the doctors were like, 6 to 8 weeks, you can start to eat solids food again. I was like, okay. I had noodles for the first 2 days because I couldn't eat anything. Like, I was just like swallowing. That was it. And like, no movement, couldn't talk. I was talking to everybody like this. And so that's how I had to train the course for the first 2 days. And so I got there, and I was like pumping the calcium. And every night before I would go to bed, I would be in agony. And
the SAC calcium.
And the SAC calcium, not just regular calcium. Yeah. And every night before I go to bed, I was literally in agony. And I was like, why is it hurting like more than when it broke? And I talked to Daryl, and Daryl was like, it's because the calcium's actually getting leached back into the bone. And so your body's pulling as much calcium as possible to heal it really quick. In 3 days, I was already eating like avocado on toast, eggs, salad. I was good to go. But like 5-7 days, by the time I came back to Canada, I had no problem with my jaw.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah. And so 2.5 weeks later, completely perfect.
Yeah. And so we're going to be showing how we do our TMJ treatment. We'll be talking about how we do it, and we'll be showing what we do prior to the treatment and what we would give you for aftercare. So if you have any problems with your TMJ, this treatment is definitely for you. So check it out.
Yeah, and understand something. When we go through all these different treatments, we might not be able to get every different symptom, because that's all they are. And new symptoms are coming every day, and who in the heck can keep up? But the reality is you got a TMJ problem, okay? We've got an answer, and we really do. And I want to thank you for joining us, okay? And don't hold back, because that's how you get TMJ problems. And what's the next show we're going to do?
We're going to be going to the ears.
Okay, all right.
Moving on over.
So we're moving on up. We're moving on up. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Bye now. Welcome back, everyone, to the International Training Institute of Health Bodywork Masterclass. And what we're going to be showing you today is we're going to be showing you how we unleash the TMJ. Okay, how we get rid of the scar tissue, the crystallization, the calcification, how we can help, because the TMJ will cause hearing problems. Believe it or not, it will cause problems for you to chew. It will cause neuritis, neuralgia problems. It will actually freeze up the vagus nerve, which will keep you in a sympathetic state. It will cause even teeth problems, okay? It will cause you to have sore throats. So understand, the TMJ is known to hold anger issues, things you didn't say, things you did say that you shouldn't have said. So understand, oh my gosh, I just don't, that kind of thing. And we hold back, and sometimes we let go too much. So the TMJ stands for Temporal Mandibular Joint. And you know what? Do you know how many people go and have to buy $10,000 braces when all they had was scar tissue and crystallization and even a calcium deposit in here, throwing the TMJ joint off, and then they weren't able to chew properly? And I'll tell you, we talked about a story last night, and I'll make it short. I told her not to do it. She went and did it. Cost her $10,000 for this mouth brace. She came to us, and the mouth brace didn't even come to her house yet, but it was being built for her while she was with us. And it took me 10 minutes, and she had a calcium deposit caught right in the TMJ. And now she has that brace, that mouth brace, up on her mantle to remind her that she should mind her own business, that self-care is the only health care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely.
Shall we?
Let's get to it.
Okay.
So the TMJ, we're just going to talk about a little bit more about the emotional side of things, because it is, like Dr. Wolfe just said, a area that we trap a lot of negative emotions. So the emotional blocks in the TMJ are anger or not wanting to let go of frustration and bottling up your emotions. So people who experience TMJ pain may also have depression or anxiety. Physical symptoms in the TMJ can include pain or tenderness of your jaw, aching pain in around your ear, difficulty chewing, aching facial pain, locking of the jaw, or making it very difficult to open or close your jaw. And a lot of these can be also it's more so the emotional side of things that get trapped there, but a couple of things that can happen are actual physical injuries, dental work.
Blow to the area.
Yeah,
your mouth like open too long for dental work.
Yeah.
But understand something. Don't you underestimate the TMJ, because it will take your hearing down. It will take your hearing down.
Yeah. So we're going to get to talking about how we do the treatment. So first, we do have our pre and post care video for you to watch on how we do all of our pre-care work. But with the TMJ, we do have a couple different additional things. So I just want to touch on that quickly. We do some additional therapies before the actual Wolfe Non-Surgical work, and that includes using our silver bullet solution and our fulvic nano drops in the ears, 10 minutes each ear, and then we use the Bioptron, Avicen, and pelvic expander like we show.
But we do. We put the silver in, and we let it soak. We do some movement with the ear, rotation, and then we let it soak, and we empty that. Then we do the nano fulvic drops. We let that soak 10 minutes, and we're using the Bioptron at the same time, shining the light in. So that's really important.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're lying with your head, of course, like if Jen faced me. So we would fill this ear up with the silver, let it soak for the 10 minutes, drain it out, and then we would do the rotations, and then we would repeat it with the fulvic.
And then we would use the also the Bioptron, but we would also use the Avicen, because if we're using it on the same side, that arm, we know we're increasing the circulation, and we're only working with the ear that we have trouble with. So we're not going to do both ears unless we have trouble with both ears, right?
Yeah, and this is helping through your whole ear, nose, and throat by applying the silver and the fulvic nano drops in the ear. It's really helping to cleanse out any pathogens, whether it be bacteria, fungus, earwax, whatever it might be. It's really helping to just get lots more light and vitality into that area.
Yeah, because when you go in the ear, if you were tiny enough, you could walk to the back of the eyeball, or you could walk to the sinus, because everything is connected in there.
Like a cave.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So let's get to the treatment. So do we want her to turn her head a little bit, or
I
you
can
got
just
it?
show it for the
Okay.
camera. It's
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So we are going to begin 2 inches above the ear, because with everything we want to release all the way around, so that way when we get into the actual joint, there's nothing really pulling or restricting it. So we want to pull away all the adhesions around the ear first. So we're going to use a pinpoint technique at the top of the ear. And we work
top, even around the back side a little bit.
Yeah, so we go all the way to around the back, working the entire temporal bone, all the way to going 2 inches below the ear. And
yeah,
this
you're
really
working 2 inches around the ear to make sure you cover the area. And sometimes you might have to go further if you feel, and I know it sounds crazy, but a scar tissue root
It's
wrapping.
like tree roots that
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
grown.
And
Yeah.
you will find that, especially if people have had like concussions or different injuries or blows to the head, you will find that the scar tissue can spread all the way up the scalp. So really important to follow those legs out whenever we do find them.
And that comes with training and practice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we train in all of our courses. And so by coming 2 inches below the ear, we're really releasing that vagus nerve. So even putting them further and deeper into that parasympathetic state by working on that area. Then we come full circle and come all the way up to complete the work around the ear before we actually come into the TMJ.
Exactly.
And then we would just come into the TMJ using a pinpoint technique, and I'll let Sage
And the
take it.
TMJ, if you can't like find it on yourself, put your hand on your face and clench your jaw. That muscle that's contracting, that's the temporal mandibular joint right within here. So if I just come like midway up the ear and then just come out from that zygomatic bone and then come down to the jawbone and make like a square, that right here, if you
Is
clench
the
your
area
jaw,
that you'd
is the
wanna
area
work.
where you're going to want to work within that joint.
Yeah.
And even coming under the jawbone, we really clean all around to make
Yeah.
sure that there's no little bits of
Under the
crystallization
ledge,
or
get
calcium.
right under the ledge.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd be surprised and sometimes they're even from the TMJ, you might find you have to come right back here
Yeah.
and it's locked under here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the 2 inch, right? So we're covering 2 inches all around. So
All around the
So your
ear.
TMJ is
and
here.
then
So we got to
complete.
come up 2 inches. So like Sage was saying, and then you're coming down and you're going to use that same circle and come around to the back of the ear.
Mm-hmm. And this is an absolutely amazing therapy. Doing the Lionheart breathing is absolutely crucial throughout this entire treatment, because we are working on one of those major emotional energy points in the body.
And if you're willing to let go, you will release some emotion that is creating dis-ease and disharmony in your body and in your relationships.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just to think of all those times you had those negative thoughts or negative words coming out and you're clenching your jaw, all that hack is getting trapped in there. So we're even releasing all of that. So we really want to focus on doing things that are going to get us our daily dose instead of hacking it up all day long.
Yeah, and we're going to hack it out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
All right. Any other last pointers?
No, I think that's really about it. I think it's like this. We're doing our best, but until you experience it,
And this one is definitely one that everybody needs to experience.
yeah. We have a thing and where we have people coming, and you'll see it on our website, and it's called the Full Body Makeover. And, you know, that can take around 20 to 25 hours. And people, they come to do it. They come and they want it. Because how would you like every joint in your body and everywhere to have the flexibility of a teenager or at least somebody in their early 20s? And that's what we can do. And we know we can do it.
Yeah.
We do it all the time.
That's why the personalized treatment and trainings are so amazing, whether it be to come to us or for us to come to you, because we train you and your family on how to do it.
And even if you're not wanting to be certified and start a company, this is what you want, because you and your family can live pain-free and healthy for the rest of your life.
Or if you want it to change your career or add it to your repertoire, then the professional courses are for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we're not going to get into it heavy, but you know what? We have trainings for our practitioners about every 2 weeks. We actually even build their marketing plan and their websites because we know that practitioners are usually not really great business people. But you know what? they got passion, they got heart, and they want to change the world one person at a
We
time.
just want to make it
Yeah.
as easy for everybody as possible.
All right.
So thanks for watching, everybody.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you in the next show.